Strasbourg, July 1518. A heat wave suffocates the streets. Famine stalks the land, and plague is a constant, unwelcome guest. But on this particular morning, a new horror begins, silent and unnerving. It starts with one woman, Frau Trophäa. She steps out of her modest home onto the cobbled Rue de Fer. There's no music, no celebration, yet she begins to dance. Not a joyful jig, but a compulsive, frantic shuffle. Her movements are uncontrolled. Her face a mask of exhaustion and distress. She cannot stop, and for days she doesn't. For nearly a week, Frau Trophäa dances. Her feet bleed, her body shudders, but the strange rhythm possesses her. Then, inexplicably, others begin to join. By the end of July, nearly 30 more people are caught in the same agonizing trance. They dance without rest, without food, their bodies racked with involuntary spasms. It's a macabre ballet unfolding in the city square, a bizarre contagion spreading not through touch, but through observation. The city authorities, already overwhelmed by the everyday calamities of disease and poverty, are utterly baffled. These aren't revelers, these are victims. Attempts to physically restrain them prove futile. They simply resume their movements with renewed, desperate energy. Fear morphs into outright terror as the numbers swell. One contemporary chronicler, known only as Specklin, recorded, "The sufferers were so numerous and diverse in age and sex that it was pitiful to behold." Medical understanding in 16th century Europe was a blend of ancient theory and nascent science. Physicians consulted their humoral theories, concluding that the dancers suffered from hot blood, a natural illness needing to be purged. Others, steeped in religious fervor, whispered of divine judgment or demonic possession, a curse from God or the devil himself. The local clergy, meanwhile, recommended prayer and penance. Neither diagnosis offered a solution, nor did they halt the escalating, horrifying spectacle. The city was gripped by a creeping sense of dread, unable to comprehend the silent agony unfolding before them. In a decision that seems almost unfathomable today, the city council, acting on the physicians' hot blood theory, proposed a radical solution: more dancing. They believed that if the afflicted danced continuously, the illness would eventually purge itself. They ordered the construction of temporary stages in the market square and opened 2 guild halls for the purpose. Musicians were hired to play drums and flutes, providing a relentless, hypnotic beat. It was an attempt to control the chaos by amplifying it, an exercise in sympathetic magic, where the cure mirrored the disease. This was no ordinary plague. This was a plague of motion, and their answer was to provide the means for that motion to consume itself. The council's bizarre strategy failed catastrophically. The more the sufferers danced, the more exhausted they became, but the compulsion remained. Within weeks, the numbers surged to several hundred, possibly 400. The stages became sites of public collapse. Bodies, once animated by a relentless rhythm, now lay still and lifeless. Contemporary accounts speak of dozens dying daily. Chroniclers such as Daniel Specklin and Johannes Wenker attest to the grim toll, noting deaths from sheer exhaustion,
heart attack and stroke. The sight of people literally dancing themselves to death became a stark, unforgettable reality.
When we look back at an event like the dancing plague, the immediate impulse is to ask, how could this possibly happen? But a more revealing question for historians is, why did this happen then? What conditions existed in Strasbourg in 1518 that made this community uniquely vulnerable to such a bizarre affliction?
The early 16th century in Europe was a cauldron of anxiety. Strasbourg itself had endured successive waves of famine, crippling poverty, and devastating outbreaks of plague. Religious tensions ran high, and a pervasive belief in omens, curses, and supernatural intervention colored every aspect of life. Against this backdrop of chronic stress and uncertainty, the human psyche was stretched to its breaking point. This wasn't merely a physical sickness, it was a societal malady, echoing the profound suffering of the era. Modern science offers several theories. One of the most enduring is ergotism, also known as St. Anthony's fire. Ergot is a parasitic fungus that grows on rye and other cereals, a common staple of the medieval diet. Ingesting ergot-contaminated bread can cause a range of disturbing symptoms, from burning sensations and gangrene to convulsions and hallucinations. Some symptoms reported in ergot outbreaks, tremors, muscle spasms, and even a feeling of being compelled to move, bear a superficial resemblance to the dancing plague. Given the widespread hunger and reliance on potentially contaminated grains, it's a compelling material explanation. However, the ergotism theory isn't a perfect fit. While it can cause convulsions, the defining characteristic of the Strasbourg plague was the compulsive, coordinated dancing, a specific, continuous motor activity not typically associated with ergot poisoning. Furthermore, the gangrenous symptoms and hallucinations commonly linked to ergotism are conspicuously absent from the detailed historical records of 1518. No accounts mention widespread limb loss or vivid psychedelic visions among the dancers. This leads many historians and medical experts to consider an alternative or at least a complementary explanation. The strongest competing theory is mass psychogenic illness, or MPI. MPI, sometimes inaccurately called mass hysteria, describes phenomena where physical symptoms with no apparent organic cause spread rapidly through a group. It's often triggered by extreme psychological stress within a community, manifesting as a kind of social contagion. In a community like Strasbourg, gripped by famine, disease, and spiritual anxiety, the stage was set. The first dancer, Frau Trofea, may have genuinely suffered an anxiety attack that manifested as uncontrollable movement. The extreme stress, then combined with the power of suggestion and shared belief, could have caused others to exhibit similar symptoms, perceiving their own distress as the same dancing affliction.
It's entirely possible that both factors played a role. Perhaps a low-level, non-lethal exposure to ergot, causing general malaise and anxiety, created a baseline physical vulnerability. This, combined with the profound psychological stress of the era, could have primed the population for an MPI outbreak.
In this scenario, the hot blood diagnosis and the council's bizarre dance-it-out cure would have only reinforced the belief that dancing was the correct response to their internal torment, transforming a psychological trigger into a self-fulfilling prophecy of exhaustion and death. It was a perfect storm of environmental, social, and psychological factors.
The dancing plague of 1518 isn't just a bizarre historical footnote. It's a profound lens through which we can view the past. It forces us to confront how susceptible human societies are to collective psychological phenomena, especially during times of extreme hardship.
What this event ultimately reveals is less about a medieval incapacity for reason and more about the enduring human struggle to find meaning and control in the face of suffering. It highlights how our understanding of the body and mind, our societal beliefs, and our environmental conditions are inextricably linked, shaping not only our individual experiences, but the very fabric of our collective reality.
The dancing plague remains one of history's most baffling episodes. While we may never have a single definitive answer, its legacy serves as a powerful reminder. The human experience, especially under duress, can manifest in ways that defy easy explanation. It speaks to our deep-seated vulnerabilities, both physiological and psychological, and the often unseen power of collective belief. Strasbourg's strange dance is over, but its resonant echo persists, urging us to look closer at the hidden currents of history.